Hello and welcome back to Korea Overlander. My name is Ben and hello all you Overlanders. It's wonderful to have you back today. So, question. Have you ever wondered what the difference is between a wrought iron pan and a cast iron pan? Yeah, me neither. Never thought about it. Until I have one of each and I realized they are in fact quite different. So stay tuned to the video because not only am I going to tell you what the differences are, but I'm going to show you the latest purchase. So stay tuned because here we go. All right, welcome back everyone. Don't forget to hit the sub button, the bell button, because every Sunday at 4 p.m. Korea Standard Time, the videos will be sent out to you. So if you hit the little bell, obviously you guys know how this works. You hit the bell and your my video will come to you in your feed. In the pipe, there are several videos that are coming up. I just wanted to let you know. The first one is a video that will be used for the that I'll have with the campfire. You know, the one that you have a video of. Put a link right here. So go check that one out. I'm actually going to fire that one. The other one that I'm going to do is with the item that I have, I'm going to do a second video on how to cure the item. And then the third video that I'm going to have is kind of a combo video where I'm going to take the wood stove plus the item that we're going to talk about today and actually do some cooking right outside on my balcony. So yay! So there's some good stuff coming up. Stay tuned for those. Also, a word, I do now have a new Twitter account that is going to be attached to the Korea Overlander channel, and I'm going to be using those to stay in touch with you on a daily basis, as well as putting out some Korea Overlander shorts. Just some short little videos taken right off my phone if I've got an idea. Hey, what do you think about this? And so I'm going to put a link to that down below as well. So stay in touch. Yeah, I look forward to having an additional way to talk to you, my Overlander team. And also, we are almost at 100 subs. We're at 96. We're so close. Let's get to that magic 100 and then keep pushing forward because I know we can do it. All right, so the difference between wrought iron and cast iron. Now, I've heard of these terms before, but never really paid much attention to them, as perhaps you have heard them and really not paid much attention to them as well. So I want to talk to you about that first as kind of a foundation into this discussion of the latest item. And I do have a website that I used. I'm going to put a link to that site below as well. It's called RelianceFoundry.com. And they've got a little section here called Ask a Metallurgist, Wrought Iron versus Cast Iron. So I want to actually use this website to help distinguish those two types of metal and how they are then used. So first of all, wrought iron, and I'm reading from the site right here. Wrought iron is iron that has been heated and then worked with tools. Okay, so I don't know exactly how that process would work, but I had read that there's like some folding of the metal. So you'd heat it up and you'd fold one layer onto the other, etc. And cast iron is iron that has been melted and then poured into a mold. And then that mold is allowed to harden. So that's the big, that's the big difference there. Wrought iron, however, wrought iron is composed, and I'm reading here, is composed primarily of elemental iron with small amounts, 1 to 2%, of added slag. And slag is the byproduct of ore when it's melted. And it also includes, wrought iron is made by repeatedly heating the material and working it with tools to deform it and reform it. It is highly malleable, apparently, allowing this heat and reheat treatment. When this occurs, wrought iron contains less carbon than cast iron, making it softer and more ductile, but it is also highly resistant to fatigue. If large amounts of pressure are applied, it will undergo a large amount of deformation before failing. So that actually might be a good thing, because if you are using a wrought iron item over a fire or a heat source, you're not going to have that potential bending of the metal. Whereas cast iron can refer to a large range of iron products, but it's mostly associated with something called gray iron. Not sure what that is. Despite having the name iron, it isn't a pure elemental iron. It actually contains more carbon than wrought iron, 2 to 4% versus 1 to 2%, plus small amounts of silicon and manganese. Other impurities such as sulfur and phosphorus are also common. Cast iron is formed by melting iron ore or melting pig iron, an alternative pig iron, an intermediate product of iron ore extraction, and mixing it with scrap metals and other alloys. The liquid mixture is then poured into mold and allowed to cool. So there's your chemistry stuff for today on the differences between wrought iron and cast iron. Now, what does that mean in practice? From what I understand, and I could be wrong, cast iron is harder, but wrought iron is more heat resistant, I guess you could say, because of that folding process. I hope I've got that right. I'm not a metallurgist and I'm not a chemist, but I play one on YouTube. So let's get to the item that I've purchased for myself, but also for you guys. And I want to give out a big shout out to Mark Hayhurst. He's a friend of mine that I worked with way back in 2003, 2004 when I was a teacher in England, teaching history and world religions. And he was the geography teacher in that school. So, hey Mark, nice to see you, and thanks for the big shout out on this particular item. Now, I saw this item, a smaller version of this item, on one of his Facebook pictures and reached out to him and said, where did you get that pan? Because it looks fantastic. And he sent me the website. He told me the name of it. And sure enough, lo and behold, I got one right here. Now, this is Petromax. This company is made in Germany, or these products are made in Germany. And they are just lovely. I mean, this is, I'm going to have to step back to get the whole view here, but you can see how huge this pan is. Now, I did get the largest pan size. I believe this is a 30-inch pan. And I did that actually for a specific reason, because I do have a family of 4. And my cast iron pan is quite a bit smaller, and I have a hard time cooking in that size pan. So instead of getting the same type of pan but just larger, I decided to go for something different. Now you can see here, hopefully you can see here, you can see all of this really cool pattern design on the pan itself. Of course, I'm going to have some B-roll for you, probably right about now. So you can take a look at this. This is probably about as heavy as my small cast iron pan, even though this is a bigger one. And one of the reasons is this is actually it's a thinner metal pan. The cast iron is usually quite a bit thicker. This is thinner, and it also comes in, basically it's designed in two pieces. You have the metal handle, and then you can see that there's a spot weld right here between those two pieces, between the pan and the handle. Whereas the cast iron, because of course we just heard about that, is that metal is poured into a mold, so the piece, the handle and everything is just one piece. These two pieces are soldered together, so that's why you have that difference. Now, I do want to mention that I am not sponsored by Petromax in any way, shape, or form. This purchase was my own. Actually, it was my wife's. She got it for me for Christmas this year. So it's not my. I don't have any. I'm not getting paid anything to do this, it's not being sponsored. Now, a couple of things that I like about this pan in particular. Number one is its size. For a family of four, I think this is going to be a great little pan, great big pan, to use while cooking. The other thing that I really like about this is the handle itself. Now, cast iron pans typically have a really short, knobby type of handle, and it's great for one hand. That's fine, no problem. But when you have, at least what I found is when you have a lot of food in the pan and you're using one hand in a fire, like if you're sitting that in a fire, it can actually be a little bit difficult on the wrist. So you do need to have like fire gloves where you can reach one end, you're reaching one end and then the little knobby handle and picking it up. This one here, I find, while it is heavy, the handle can be away from the fire source itself. And so I like that. Now, because these things are connected, the handle and the pan are essentially one piece, this handle is going to get hot, even though it is so far away potentially from the heat source. So obviously you do want to have some kind of hand protection or you are going to burn yourself. So please keep that in mind. The other reason why I like this pan is because it actually has a low profile. It's not thick, it's not high like a cast iron pan. And the reason I like that is because if I'm doing something with alcohol and I've poured alcohol in, because of its tapered edges on the side, I can just shift that up a little bit and catch that alcohol to burn whatever it is to burn that alcohol off and have that flavor inside the pan. So it's a little bit easier for me to do a flambe in a pan, even on a campfire. So I like that idea. And the other thing that I really like, this is going to be the geek in me, I'm sure, but the other thing I really like is just that really unique textured design. You can kind of feel it a little bit as you rub your hands and your fingers over top of that. So as a wow factor, yeah, I really like this pan for sure. Now, I have not yet used it. I've not yet used it because I need to cure the pan. So stay tuned for that video because it is coming up now that I've done the reveal video. That cure video is coming up. So hit the sub, hit the notification button for that because that will be coming shortly. So I will give you the instructions on how to do that. Plus I'll show you the process and what the pan will look like as a before and after. To give you a sense of how this works. Now, if you have an induction oven, I am pretty sure that this is going to work on an induction oven as well as a gas hob or gas oven. I will double check that. The cast iron does work on the induction, and I'm pretty sure this one does as well, but I will confirm that as a just in case because I'm not 100% sure. So there you go, cast iron versus wrought iron, new pan for you. I will put a link to the website, Petromax website down below, as well as the Naver link that you can buy the pan from. I believe there are 4 sizes. This is the largest. There's another one that's about 8 inches or 10 inches, and it seems like it's a lot lighter and it's a lot smaller. So if you do want to just have a solo camping, that one might, like a solo camping trip, that small one might be a little bit better for you. For my purposes, this one's better with the family, but who knows? I might just buy another one for myself, because why not? All right, that's it for me. Thank you so much for being here, ladies and gentlemen, my Korea Overlanders. Have a great day, and see you soon. Peace.